What if I told you that a man who made his first fortune over 100 years ago already figured out why 90% of traders today are destined to fail? Jesse Livermore, the legendary speculator who turned $5 into millions, left us a blueprint for trading success that most people completely ignore. Today, we're going to dive deep into Livermore's most powerful insights and discover why the same mistakes that destroyed traders in 1920 are still destroying accounts today. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what separates the 10% who succeed from the 90% who don't, and more importantly, how to join the winning side.
Welcome back to your favorite Trading Insight channel. Today we're taking a journey back in time to learn from arguably the greatest trader who ever lived. Jesse Livermore made millions when millions were worth what billions are today. He traded through the 1907 panic, the 1929 crash, and countless market cycles that would have destroyed lesser traders. But here's what makes this story incredible. Livermore was essentially trading with the same psychological challenges we face today. No computers, no instant news, no social media, yet the fundamental reasons traders failed then are exactly the same reasons they fail now. Human nature hasn't changed, and neither have the market's ways of separating smart money from dumb money. If you're tired of watching your trading account go nowhere, or if you've ever wondered why some traders seem to have a magical ability to consistently profit while others struggle, this video will change how you think about trading forever. Before we dive into Livermore's wisdom, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, the insights we're covering today could literally save your trading career.
Who was Jesse Livermore? Let me paint you a picture of who Jesse Livermore really was, because understanding his background makes his insights even more powerful. Born in 1877 in Massachusetts, Livermore started trading at age 14 with just $5, not 5,000, $5. He began in what were called bucket shops, basically the day trading platforms of the early 1900s, except they were often rigged against the customers. Most people got wiped out quickly, but Livermore was different. By age 20, he had made enough money that Boston bucket shops banned him from trading because he was too successful. Think about that. He was so good at reading market patterns that the house refused to take his bets. This forced him to move to New York and trade on the actual stock exchange. Here's what made Livermore special. He approached trading like a scientist. While other speculators relied on tips, rumors, and gut feelings, Livermore studied price movements, market timing, and crowd psychology. He developed systematic approaches to entering and exiting positions that were decades ahead of their time. His most famous trade came during the 1929 stock market crash. While everyone else was panicking and losing fortunes, Livermore had recognized the signs of an overheated market months earlier. He positioned himself short and made what would be equivalent to over $3 billion in today's money in a single market crash. But here's the crucial part. Livermore didn't just get lucky once. He consistently made money across different market conditions, different decades, and different economic cycles. His success wasn't based on one great trade or insider information. It was based on understanding principles that still work today.
The big picture: why most traders fail. Before we dive into Livermore's specific insights, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Study after study shows that 80 to 90% of traders lose money consistently. The exact numbers vary, but the message is clear. Trading is one of the few businesses where the vast majority of participants fail. Now, most people think traders fail because they don't know enough about technical analysis, or they don't have the right indicators, or they need a better trading system. But Livermore discovered something much deeper, and this is where his genius really shows. Livermore realized that markets aren't really about predicting the future, they're about understanding human psychology on a massive scale. Every price movement represents millions of people making decisions based on fear, greed, hope, and panic. And here's the kicker: these emotional patterns repeat over and over again throughout history. He once said, "Wall Street never changes. The pockets change, the suckers change, the stocks change, but Wall Street never changes because human nature never changes." This is profound because it means the same psychological traps that caught traders in 1920 are still catching traders today. Think about it. We have better technology, more information, faster execution, and more educational resources than ever before. Yet the failure rate hasn't improved. Why? Because the problem isn't technical, it's psychological. Livermore identified that successful trading isn't about being smarter or having better information, it's about being different. It's about doing what the majority won't do, thinking how the majority won't think, and having the discipline to act against your natural human instincts. This is why studying Livermore is so valuable. He figured out how to consistently profit by understanding and exploiting the predictable ways that human emotions drive market movements. And the beautiful thing is, these patterns are even more pronounced today because we have millions more participants making the same emotional mistakes. Livermore's core insights on why traders fail. Now, let's get into the specific insights that made Livermore legendary. I'm going to share his 7 most powerful observations about why traders fail, and more importantly, how to avoid these traps. Insight number 1, the tip trap. Tips, how people want tips. Livermore observed that most losing traders are constantly looking for shortcuts. They want someone else to tell them what to buy, when to buy it, and when to sell it. He called this the tip trap and said it was one of the fastest ways to lose money. Here's why tips are so dangerous. When someone gives you a tip, you don't understand the reasoning behind it. You don't know when to exit if it goes wrong. You don't know how much to risk, and you have no conviction to hold the position when it gets uncomfortable. Livermore made his fortunes by doing his own analysis and trusting his own judgment. He would study price patterns, market conditions, and economic factors for weeks or months before making a major move. The losing traders wanted someone else to do this work for them. In today's world, this manifests as following trading gurus on social media, copying other people's trades, or constantly looking for the holy grail system that someone else discovered. But Livermore proved that sustainable success only comes from developing your own understanding and judgment. Insight number 2, the impatience disease. There is time to go long, time to go short, and time to go fishing. This is one of my favorite Livermore quotes because it perfectly captures why most traders fail. They think they always need to be doing something. They can't sit still when markets are unclear or when good opportunities aren't available. Livermore understood that making money in markets requires incredible patience. Sometimes the best action is no action. He would often wait weeks or even months for the perfect setup rather than forcing trades in mediocre conditions. Compare this to today's traders who feel like they need to trade every day or who get bored and start taking random trades just for the action. Livermore would have called this pain for your entertainment, and he knew it was a guaranteed way to lose money. The market rewards patience and punishes impatience, period. Livermore's biggest wins came from waiting for obvious opportunities and then betting big when the odds were clearly in his favor. Insight number 3, the prediction trap. Markets are never wrong, opinions often are. Here's where Livermore was way ahead of his time. Most traders try to predict what the market should do based on their analysis, news, or opinions. Then they fight the market when it doesn't do what they expected. Livermore took the opposite approach. He believed the market was always right, and his job was to follow what it was actually doing, not what he thought it should do. If his analysis said stocks should go up, but prices were going down, he would go with the price action, not his analysis. This seems simple, but it's incredibly difficult psychologically. Our egos want to be right about our predictions. We want to prove we're smart by calling market turns. But Livermore discovered that ego is the enemy of profits. He developed what we now call trend-following strategies. Instead of trying to pick tops and bottoms, he would wait for trends to establish themselves and then ride them. This approach made him millions because he was working with the market's natural momentum instead of fighting it. Insight number 4, the overtrading problem. It was never my thinking that made me the big money. It was my sitting. This quote reveals one of the most important trading insights ever discovered. Livermore realized that his biggest profits didn't come from being clever or making lots of trades. They came from finding the right positions and them having the discipline to hold them while they developed. Most failing traders do the exact opposite. They make small profits quickly because they're afraid of giving back their gains, but they hold losing positions too long because they're hoping for a comeback. This is backwards, and it's why the majority lose money. Livermore would find high-probability setups, enter with appropriate position sizes, and then sit on his hands while the market did the work. He understood that big market moves take time to develop, and trying to trade in and out would actually reduce his profits. In today's markets, this manifests as day traders who make 50 trades a week and end up losing to commissions and spreads, while position traders who make 5 careful trades a month generate consistent profits. Livermore proved that less can definitely be more in trading. Insight number 5. The emotional trap. The human side of every person is the greatest enemy of the average investor or speculator. Livermore understood that trading success wasn't really about markets, it was about mastering yourself. He observed that emotions like fear, greed, hope, and pride caused predictable mistakes that destroyed even intelligent traders. Fear causes traders to exit winning positions too early or avoid taking trades when they should. Greed causes them to risk too much or hold positions too long. Hope causes them to avoid taking losses when they should cut them. Pride prevents them from admitting mistakes in changing course. Livermore developed systematic approaches specifically designed to remove emotion from his trading decisions. He would plan his trades in advance when his mind was clear, then execute according to his plan regardless of how he felt in the moment. This is why successful trading feels boring most of the time. If you're getting emotional highs and lows from your trades, you're probably making emotion-based decisions rather than logic-based ones. Insight number 6. The money management mistake. Play the game the way the big money plays it. Livermore discovered that position sizing and risk management were more important than being right about market direction. He observed that amateur traders would risk large amounts on low-probability trades and small amounts on high-probability trades, exactly backwards from what professionals do. He developed specific rules about how much to risk on each trade based on his confidence level and account size. When he had high conviction and the setup was perfect, he would bet bigger. When he was less certain, he would risk less. This allowed him to compound his winnings while limiting his losses. Most failing traders do the opposite. They risk the same amount on every trade regardless of the quality of the setup, or worse, they increase their position sizes when they're losing to try to get back to even faster. Livermore would have called this financial suicide. Insight number 7. The learning trap. Losing money is part of the game. What is not part of the game is not learning from the losses. Finally, Livermore understood that losses were inevitable and actually valuable if you learned from them. He viewed each loss as tuition paid to the market for education. The key was making sure you learned something from every loss so you wouldn't make the same mistake again. Most failing traders take losses personally. They get angry, frustrated, or depressed when trades don't work out. This emotional reaction prevents them from objectively analyzing what went wrong and how to improve. Livermore kept detailed records of his trades and regularly reviewed his mistakes to identify patterns. This allowed him to continuously improve his approach and avoid repeating the same errors. He turned losses into learning experiences that made him a better trader over time. Applying Livermore's wisdom in today's modern markets. Now, let's talk about how to actually apply Livermore's insights to your trading today. These aren't just historical curiosities, they're practical strategies you can implement immediately. Modern application number 1. Developing your own analysis. Instead of following trading signals or copying other people's trades, commit to developing your own market understanding. Start by picking 1 or 2 markets to focus on intensively. Study their price patterns, economic drivers, and typical behavior during different market conditions. Livermore spent years learning to read tape action, the flow of buying and selling that drove price movements. Today's equivalent might be learning to read order flow, volume patterns, or market structure. The key is developing your own edge rather than depending on someone else's. Modern application number 2, creating a go fishing strategy. Build specific criteria for when you won't trade. This might include low volume periods, major news events, or when your preferred setups aren't available. Having clear rules about when to stay out of the market is just as important as knowing when to get in. Consider setting maximum trade limits per day or week. If you hit your limit, you're done, regardless of what the market does next. This forces you to be selective and wait for only the best opportunities. Modern application number 3, following market action over opinions. Develop the habit of asking, what is the market actually doing, rather than what do I think it should do? If your analysis suggests one direction, but price action suggests another, go with the price action. This might mean using trend-following indicators, price action signals, or momentum strategies rather than trying to pick tops and bottoms based on fundamental analysis. The goal is to work with the market's natural movement rather than fighting it. Modern application number 4, position sizing like a professional. Create a systematic approach to position sizing based on your account size and conviction level. You might risk 1% on regular trades, 2% on high conviction trades, and 0.5% on experimental trades. The key is having predetermined rules rather than making emotional decisions about trade size. Never risk more than you can afford to lose on a single trade, and never increase position sizes when you're in a losing streak. This is how small losses become account-destroying disasters. Modern application number 5, emotional discipline systems. Develop pre-planned responses to common emotional situations. Write down exactly what you'll do when you're in a losing streak, when you have a big winner, or when you're feeling overconfident. Having these plans removes emotion from critical decisions. Consider keeping a trading journal that tracks not just your trades, but your emotional state when making them. Look for patterns between your emotions and your results. You'll likely find that your most emotional trades are your worst performers. Modern application number 6, the learning laboratory approach. Treat every trade as an experiment with a hypothesis, execution, and results analysis. Keep detailed records not just of what you traded and the outcome, but why you took the trade and what you learned from it. Review your trades weekly or monthly to identify patterns in your mistakes. Are you exiting winners too early? Holding losers too long? Taking trades outside your system? Use this analysis to continuously refine your approach.
The mindset that changes everything. Here's what I want you to understand about Livermore's ultimate insight. Successful trading isn't about finding the perfect system or having insider information. It's about thinking differently than the majority of market participants. Livermore succeeded because he was willing to do what others wouldn't do. While others chased tips, he did his own research. While others traded constantly, he waited patiently for perfect setups. While others let emotions drive their decisions, he followed systematic rules. While others ignored their losses, he studied them carefully. This is the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop trying to find shortcuts or magic formulas. Start thinking like a business owner who's building a long-term enterprise. Every trade is a business decision that should be evaluated based on risk, reward, and probability, not on emotions or entertainment value. Livermore proved that markets reward discipline, patience, and systematic thinking while punishing impulsiveness, emotion, and wishful thinking. The beautiful thing is that these principles are just as true today as they were 100 years ago. The question isn't whether these insights work. Livermore and countless other successful traders have proven they do. The question is whether you're willing to do the hard work of implementing them consistently over time. Remember, the market doesn't care about your opinions, your emotions, or your financial needs.
It only responds to buying and selling pressure driven by millions of participants making decisions. Your job is to position yourself on the right side of these collective decisions by thinking and acting differently than the majority.
Your action plan. Let me give you a specific action plan based on Livermore's insights that you can start implementing today. First, choose 1 or 2 markets to focus on exclusively for the next 3 months. Don't try to trade everything. Become an expert in a specific area. Second, create written rules for when you will and won't trade. Include specific market conditions, setup requirements, and maximum daily trade limits. Third, develop a systematic approach to position sizing. Start with risking no more than 1% of your account on any single trade, and adjust based on your conviction level. Fourth, begin keeping a detailed trading journal that tracks not just your trades, but your reasoning and emotional state. Review this weekly to identify improvement areas. Fifth, commit to doing your own analysis rather than following other signals or tips. This might mean learning new skills, but it's essential for long-term success. Finally, practice patience by setting specific criteria for your trades and refusing to compromise on them. Remember Livermore's wisdom. There's always another opportunity if you're patient enough to wait for it.
To wind up, Jesse Livermore's insights have stood the test of time because they're based on understanding human nature and market psychology rather than temporary strategies or techniques. The same emotional mistakes that destroyed traders in his era are still destroying traders today, which means his solutions are just as relevant now as they were then. The path to trading success isn't about finding secret information or perfect systems. It's about developing the discipline to do what the majority won't do. Be patient, follow systematic rules, manage risk properly, and learn from every experience. If this video opened your eyes to why most traders fail and how to avoid their mistakes, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that can transform your trading results. In the comments below, let me know which of Livermore's insights resonated most with you and share your biggest challenge in implementing patient, disciplined trading. I read every comment and often create follow-up videos based on your questions. Next week, we're diving deep into specific trading setups that embody Livermore's principles, including exact entry and exit criteria that you can use in today's markets. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Remember, successful trading is a marathon, not a sprint. Start implementing these timeless principles today, and you'll be amazed at how your results improve over time. Until next time, trade smart, stay disciplined, and always remember, the market rewards those who think differently than the crowd.